Am I the a-hole for acting like a maid at my sister's house after she gave birth? My sister, 39 female, just had twins 2 weeks ago via C-section. If you've ever been around someone recovering from a C-section, you know it's basically a major abdominal surgery. She's exhausted, sore, still bleeding, and trying to figure out life with 2 newborns. Her husband, 32 male, has been less than helpful. He keeps telling her that since his job is too hard and busy, she needs to handle everything at home. Cleaning, laundry, cooking, and of course taking care of 2 babies. She called me crying one night because she was overwhelmed, so I went over the next day. Now, I didn't go to hold babies or play fun aunt. I know my sister. She cannot stand clutter or mess, and her house was stressing her out on top of everything else. So I cleaned, organized, folded laundry, loaded the dishwasher, wiped down counters, vacuumed, and even prepped a couple of meals for her. I told her not to worry about lifting a finger. She cried again, this time from gratitude. She kept saying how much it helped her mental health just to have a clean space while she heals. Here's the problem. Her husband came home and was livid. Not at me, but at her. He accused her of making him look bad, because I came over and did everything he thinks she should be doing. He literally said, "She's the mom, not you. You're just acting like a maid." For the record, my sister didn't even ask me to do all that. I did it because I could see she needed help. She defended me, told him she's still healing, and reminded him that doctors literally told her not to lift heavy things or overexert herself yet. He brushed it off and doubled down that she should suck it up, because everyone else manages. Now there's tension in their house. My sister keeps thanking me, but her husband's icy with her and making snide comments like, "Don't worry, your maid will handle it." I feel awful because the last thing I wanted to do was make things worse for her. Update. A few days have passed and things escalated quickly. The next day after I posted, I packed up my sister and the twins and moved them into my house. She's now staying in my master bedroom so she has space, privacy, and an ensuite, and I moved into my guest room. Now, about her husband. He's a doctor, which makes it even worse that he's been acting like her C-section recovery is no big deal. So yesterday, I went down to his hospital. I told the nurses and the receptionists everything he's been doing and not doing at home. I wasn't screaming or anything, just very loudly sharing stories in places where a lot of people could overhear, like how Dr. X thinks his wife should scrub floors while she's still bleeding from abdominal surgery. Let's just say his co-workers now know he's a lot better at prescribing rest than actually supporting it. After that, I called his mom. For context, she and I are really close. We're basically the same person in different ages. I told her every single detail. What he did, what he hasn't done, what he said, and what he hasn't said. Glad to say she was not impressed. And I didn't stop there. With my parents' help, I told the rest of the family, close relatives, extended family, cousins, everybody. I literally spent the whole day calling and updating people about my brother-in-law's behavior. If he wanted my sister to feel humiliated and unsupported, well, now he gets to feel it too. Yes, I know what I did was a total bitch move, but sometimes 2 negatives make a positive. It even says so in math. So here's the update I'm sure many of you were waiting for, and I hope I was petty enough for all of you potatoes. Am I the asshole for refusing to switch hotels for my family members' kids? I, 34 female, booked a vacation to Cyprus at an adults-only hotel. Now, don't get me wrong. I adore kids. Heck, most days I act like one. But I spent most of this summer babysitting and watching family members' kids, so they could have some couples time, or just a break. So, I decided it might be nice to book a 5-star, adults-only hotel where I could relax after 2 months of running after nieces, nephews, and little cousins. I managed to score a great deal and booked a week at the Amavai Hotel in Paphos for a ridiculously low price, including flights. While setting up this trip, my cousin, let's call her DD, and her 3 kids were staying with me. Since hotels in my area were insanely overpriced and I live in a vacation destination and a 4-minute walk from the beach, my cousin's son, let's call him Matt, overheard me telling a friend about my trip, how everything was booked and we, my boyfriend and I, were all packed. He immediately ran to his mom and asked if they could come with me. Without thinking, DD said, Of course we can. Your auntie will find us a great deal and we'll all fly out together. I was dumbfounded. I pulled Dee aside and explained the deal was for an adults-only couples hotel because I wanted to spend quality time with my boyfriend. We'd both been extremely busy with work, apartment hunting, and me babysitting kids all summer. Dee just shrugged and said, "Well then just call the company and switch hotels. What's the problem?" I told her I wasn't switching. My hotel was part of the special deal. I even offered to help her find a family-friendly hotel and gave her options. She looked, then turned to me and said, "Wait, but if you won't be at the hotel, who will help me with the kids?" I said, "I don't know. Get a babysitter, bring your mother, discipline the kids so they behave better, pick one." She got upset and called me rude and selfish. She claimed that since I don't have kids, I don't understand how important vacations are for parents, and that she deserved a break too. I reminded her I'd been watching her kids every day after work for the past 4 days while she was staying at my place, so she was already getting a break. Her response? "So what, I have to be with them all the time? The least you can do is help out once in a while. You're not married, you have no kids. You basically have nothing to do with your day. And this is where I may have been the AH. I told her flat out that I don't owe her anything. I was already doing her a favor by letting her and her kids stay at my place since they couldn't afford $500 per night hotels. I am not her childcare. Then I asked how she expected to afford a vacation like mine when she couldn't afford a hotel in our own country, especially with 3 kids. Her answer? "You guys can just pay and I'll pay you back when I have it. I mean, you don't have kids and your boyfriend makes great money. Tell him to pay for us, he won't mind." I don't know if entitlement was on sale that day or if there was a clearance on Audacity, but I wasn't having it. I told her she must be high if she thought we were going to pay for her and 3 kids. She got upset, packed her stuff, and left to stay with my mom, as I was being a bad host. An hour later, I get a call from my mom and her mom, asking how I could kick her out at night with 3 kids. It was 6 p.m., and she left voluntarily. I explained everything, but they sided with her and told me I should just pay. I told them if they wanted her to go on vacation so badly, they could fork out the $4,000 and babysit too. Later, my mom called back after learning Dee twisted the story, claiming I was flaunting my money and vacation in front of her kids to make her look like a bad mom. For the record, I work 10 to 12-hour days and hardly have money to spare. My mom tried to keep the peace but eventually realized I wasn't budging. Then last night, I learned from my boyfriend that after leaving, Dee actually called our travel company and tried to switch my hotel booking to a family hotel, adding a suite for her and her kids, plus business class flights. She even lied, saying I wanted to cancel my trip to spend time with her. The agent thankfully called my boyfriend to double-check. For context, my boyfriend is extremely generous, the kind of person who would literally give his coat, hat, and shoes to someone freezing in the street and has literally lost winter. If I had asked, he probably would have paid for her vacation without hesitation. But since she was being so entitled, I refused to even bring it up. She's already raising her kids to be entitled, and I wasn't about to enable it.